What is going on, everybody? I am back today to talk about the newest installment in the Predator franchise, which, yes, there have been several of these movies, including an animated film that was released not that long ago in the Predator universe. And I'll be the first to say it right now. I am not the biggest Predator fan. I enjoy science fiction. I think the design of the Predator is really cool. But as far as like the Predator as a character, or like a lot of the setups for these movies, I just don't care all that much. It's not that I think that they're bad by any means. It's just not the first thing that I seek out to watch necessarily. But I saw the trailer for this movie, and the word I would use to describe the trailer is fun. It looked like something that was going to be entertaining. Dan Trachtenberg, who has been directing these, Prey is my favorite one thus far. I thought that it was super entertaining. I loved the environment of that movie. I thought the character writing was really good. And because he seems to have a very sincere passion for this franchise, it really makes me look forward to see what he does with these. I also love Elle Fanning, and I was really looking forward to seeing her in this movie. I feel like she's just given great performance after great performance over the years. And so I was curious to see what it would be like in this movie. And the film I'm going to be discussing with you today is Predator Badlands. Predator Badlands is directed by Dan Trachtenberg. Cast out from his clan, a young predator finds an unlikely ally in a damaged android and embarks on a treacherous journey in search of the ultimate adversary. So, like I said, I was looking forward to watching this movie. I'm not the biggest fan of the Predator franchise, but I think Dan Trachtenberg has a very sincere love for this property, and I'm always looking forward to what he's going to bring to the table. And what I will say is, this movie is incredibly entertaining. I really enjoyed myself watching it. It's pretty much what I expected that it was going to be, which is not a bad thing. The writing is definitely better than I thought that it would be. It's still relatively formulaic. I feel like a lot of the plot beats, if you've seen an adventure film in your lifetime, the direction that it goes, a lot of the reveals, nothing is very like surprising about the movie. But I do think if you're into science fiction, action, adventure movies, you'll find something to appreciate with this, which I definitely did. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it when I break the movie down for you today. So at the beginning of the movie, we are introduced to the character of Deck, who is a predator, and we see him sparring with his brother, and the two of them are fighting. They're having these really long conversations, and they reveal that their clan is trying to go after this very large monster. They want to conquer it and kill it and bring back its head or its remains to the entire group of predators that live in this area. And we learn early on predators are very solitary creatures. They fight alone. There's not a lot of connection or companionship. The brother's father appears, and the father immediately tells the other brother that he's going to kill Deck. And his brother stands up for him and fights his father, and Deck escapes the planet. And he is incredibly upset because his brother's in danger. They leave the planet and they get to the planet where this creature is residing. And he immediately starts looking for this creature. And among looking for it, he stumbles upon an android that is broken apart in half. The bottom half of the android is cut off, and that android is played by Elle Fanning. And she tells Deck that she is able to help him track down this creature and could possibly give him some advice and help him take it down, because there's been multiple different things that have tried to, and they've all failed. And so the entirety of the film, this predator and this android traveling across this planet to try to hunt down this creature and kill it so Deck can take it back to his father and their clan. Like I said, I thought this movie was really entertaining, and there's a multitude of reasons for that. For starters, the performances in this movie are really great. The actor who plays the lead predator does a phenomenal job, obviously covered in like makeup and prosthetics and all of those things, but really like the bodily performances, the vocal delivery, just everything about it, really fantastic, easy to follow the character. Elle Fanning, as I've said before, incredible actress, and I feel like she does a really nice job in this movie. The chemistry created between those two is one of the reasons why the film is so enjoyable, because their banter back and forth, it can get really funny at times, which I was hoping for, that it wasn't just going to be straightforward serious. I like when these movies don't take themselves too seriously, and this one didn't, and I think that chemistry works incredibly well. I loved the visuals in this movie. I felt like the setting, especially on this planet, it was really easy to immerse yourself into. I do feel like some of the CGI in moments can be a little clunky, not necessarily my favorite. I really like it when it's more practical, but I do think the landscape and the world building is very effective. That's one of the things about the movie that I feel like kept me engaged and entertain. And also, the fight scenes in this are really great. I love the look of the Predator's sword, and it like glows red. And the fight sequences are fun. I was a little worried at first because it was PG-13, so typically in those instances the violence can be toned down, but obviously because it's aliens and it's not real blood, it's kind of like slime or sludge or whatever. They're able to go kind of as ridiculous as they want with it, and that helped the movie a lot. And I felt like a lot of the fight scenes in the movie were really action packed. They also included this like cute little creature in the movie that I feel like added a lot to it. Obviously, introducing any sort of cute animal or creature into a film adds that dynamic where there's going to be comedy, there's going to be humor. And I think like for an adventure science fiction film, it has all of the components that you need to make something successful. And so that was really fun. I also loved the music, and the sound design in this was also very immersive, and that's all you can ask for in this type of a movie. My issues really stem with the fact that like it's relatively predictable, and I felt like about the halfway point I was like, okay, this is probably going to happen next, this is probably going to happen next, and my brain was generally in the right direction of where the movie was going to go, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I just wasn't as invested as I thought that I would have been, which took me out of the movie a little bit. Some of the scenes can be a little bit heavy on the expositional dialogue, where it really, I don't feel like movies like this necessarily need that much. You can drop someone into a world, and it's like you don't need to know much about the Predator. Throughout most of the franchise, I feel like the Predator is just this menacing character that commits violence, and they're trying in this movie to kind of provide different context to what the Predator can be. But there were a lot of moments, especially incorporating the Weyland Corporation, which I always think about Alien, but I always forget that that's kind of like a crossover with Predator. But it, like all of that stuff with Elle Fanning's character, there were moments I was like, oh, that's interesting, but there were other moments I'm like, I don't necessarily care about that as much. And so because it's a little generic when it comes to plot beats, and they spend a little bit too much time in that expositional dialogue dump, I was pulling in and out of the movie multiple times. I still think it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of really entertaining and engaging action sequences, and I think the movie has heart at its core, which I think is what it was going for, really kind of taking this brutal, violent character and showing a different side to it, which I always think it's fun to kind of subvert audience expectations and do something that you wouldn't necessarily expect with it. And that was one of the surprises of the movie that I appreciated. But I think if you're a fan of science fiction films, if you like the Predator series, which I know that there are a lot diehard Predator fans out there, you're going to really enjoy this movie. It clearly seems that Dan Trachtenberg has a genuine love and affection for this series. And I think that's a big part of like a lot of the failure with a lot of reboots or sequels, is that you don't get people involved that genuinely love the product. And this is one of those rare instances where I've seen 3 movies that Dan Trachtenberg has been involved in. They've all been really entertaining. And if he keeps going, I'll keep watching them because they're a lot of fun and they're a good time at the movies. So have you seen Predator Badlands? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was really entertaining. Like I said, it can be a little formulaic in moments, the plot beats that it hits. It's not like it's necessarily doing the most new and original thing imaginable, but it is fun, and it has genuine heart at its core, and I was entertained by it. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.